Okay, welcome everybody to the second edition of the Eredivisie for the men's team. Last week was fantastic spectacle, and we're currently sitting mid of the table after a narrow loss, 9 points to 6. This evening we welcome Apeldoorn, so big round of applause to Apeldoorn team. We're actually the two promoted teams from last season, so it's going to be a very exciting matchup. There's been a few changes to order at last minute, but it's still going to be a very exciting match. Unfortunately, Stan Al has a sickness bug, so he had to pull out, and Cho Dubadum also was sick as of today. I don't think they were hanging out together, but that's how it goes. So we have some great replacements with David Fischer and Jarmo. Okay, so to introduce the Apeldoorn team, just as I mentioned, we have, this is testing my Dutch, Jarmo van der Seijp at number 3. Round of applause for Jarmo. Okay, this gentleman has come from England. He was actually here at the beginning of September to play one of our closed satellite events. Up-and-coming player, Robert Downer. And playing in first string position, another Englishman. You've got to get around a lot, don't they? So, Malik. So, our super sub for this evening, as I've said, is the one and only David Fischer. And making his debut this season for the Eredivisie team is the Irish wonder, Gilliander. And this man needs not much of an introduction. Our Egyptian warrior, Omar Meguid. Christina, did you want to take some pictures? Thank you. Okay, so whilst everyone else is committed playing squash upstairs, I need our home support that is here for now to give the most amount of noise for David Fischer this evening, because he will be starting against Jarmo first on this squad, alright? So now's the chance to get a quick drink or settle in and support the team. Go Foss!
Welcome everyone to the second Eredivisie match of this season of Frans Otten, or in history I think even.
That's right. Welcome back tonight for another exciting match.
And next to me is Andres Vargas again. He was here last week and I was here last week, but you haven't heard me. I'm Sander van den Brakel and we're gonna comment on this first match, the number 3 position. And it's David Fischer against Jarmo van der Seijp of Apeldoorn. What do you think? I just heard from Rich King, the team manager, that the last time they played, Jarmo beat David in 3-2, so in 5. So it promises a nice match for Andres.
I think so too. I think we're in for a treat at the number 3 spot tonight. Last time indeed it was a tight match between those two, and we've seen both players. So David Fischer, he plays here at Frans Otten, and of course he grew up playing in Zimbabwe, if not mistaken. So you have some of that Zim flair.
Yeah, he has the Dutch nationality as well. That's why he's allowed to play as a Dutch player.
That's correct.
Which is important because I'm not sure everybody knows who's listening, but there's one Dutch player is obligated to play every match.
Correct. And his opponent, he also played for Apeldoorn last season when we played the final, the top divisie final. He was also on this court in the final against our own Daniel Lagewaard. If he's listening, shout out to Mr. Lagewaard.
Shout out to him. I'm sure he's listening. He's in Panama.
Yeah.
And shout out to him and to Priscilla, proud members of the stream team. And they have a week off. Totally deserved.
Yeah. Enjoy the sunny weather.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Panama can be rainy.
True.
Have you been there?
I have been there a while ago.
Okay,
so,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Twice actually. So the referee is Ellen Steenkist. I love her voice.
You love her voice? I have never seen her ref, so I'm interested to see how she does. I think last week's ref was pretty good. Of course, there were calls that could have gone either way, but I think for the most part it was pretty consistent. So let's hope for the same today.
Yeah, let's hope for that. And they're off. The number 3 position, David Fischer against Jarmo van der Seijp. Frans Otten against Apeldoorn. Squash Apeldoorn, I have to say.
And first point going to Apeldoorn. I think what we have here is Apeldoorn has a pretty skilled player. I think from what I remember from last time, he's quite handy with his racket.
Yeah. I forgot the court sound, but it's here.
It is.
People can hear what's happening on the court.
Nice finish from Fischer.
No let.
Yeah. I think he's as surprised as we are.
Yeah. 2-1. Ellen is, or I can say, Miss Steenkist wants to set the example early.
Have to go for that shot.
Ooh, nice. Well done. Close to his body. It's not an easy ball to play.
No, but he's skillful. I think also his height plays to his advantage. He's got a pretty long reach. I think he's, what do you reckon, close to the 185, 190?
190 for sure, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit taller even. Jarmo is also not small.
I have to say he's a little bit bulkier up top. You see that difference. I think David's still quite lean.
Yeah, he is.
There you see it again, that finish off on the backhand with a low kill.
I was comparing both rankings, and Jarmo is ranked 51. It might be a bit. It might change a bit because the rankings changed at the beginning of this month. But few matches haven't been processed yet. So, but from what I saw, it's Jarmo, it's a bit below 50, 51, and David Fisher at 70. So the numbers are in favor of Jarmo.
The stats would favor Apeldoorn tonight. So, could you share a little bit of how these rankings are determined? Is it?
Yeah, for now it's still quite simple. It's the points, and we switched from everybody knows from the 1 to 9 last season, and there are quite big gaps at the moment between a number 3 and a number 3, for example. A high number 3 and a low number 3 is a big difference. But this week squash levels was announced. So Squash Bond is going to work with squash levels.
And what is squash levels?
Squash levels is like a platform which does advanced algorithms on scoring and etc. It's being used for the PSA scores as well.
Great.
And so then your rankings will just change weekly.
Ideally, it will be more accurate.
It's more accurate, and like for example, I played a match last Friday. I won 3-1, but I lost points on squash levels, and my opponent won points on squash levels because I shouldn't have lost that one game.
Okay, because of your level.
Because the level difference. Yeah.
So it rewards the player who
exactly.
got it.
So back to the match. It's closing in 5-all now and leveled up, while David Fisher was up quite high in the first stage.
There it is, 2-point lead.
Yeah, so two good drop shots there from Fisher to
8-5.
Nice, I really like the way David is hitting that low, both straight and cross-court shot.
Yep.
I think he's won at least 3-4 points this game off that shot.
Oh, this is
a little greedy,
yeah,
hitting that drop shot from the back.
A bit early in the rally. We all know the feeling, wanting to score too early and then...
Indeed.
Nice.
9-6.
Nice crowd again here at Frans Otten Stadion for the Eredivisie on this Wednesday evening. Not as big as last week where we had Paul Cole and Yusuf Solimans.
That definitely drew in some crowd, having Paul Cole.
But still, I think we're crowded enough.
Good width.
Yeah.
10-5.
Nice sportsmanship from the Seijp there, acknowledging the shot. I like that.
That takes us, Frans Otten, to game ball in the first match of the evening.
Down. Hand out. 7-10. Game ball.
So far, a pretty clean game. I think if there's been 2 or 3 let goals, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
But even though they're two relatively tall guys, it doesn't seem to be too much interference.
And there's interference while you say it. It's the commentator's curse there for you.
Yeah.
Tight balls against the side wall there.
Nice width again. Him right to the tee.
Oh, that's a bit of a lucky
unlucky
shot.
8-10. Game ball.
But it brings him closer to saving this.
Still too much balls.
Let's see if David can convert one of them. I hope so, of course.
There it is. And that's going to be a stroke.
11-8.
First game to Frans Otten Stadion. David Fisher taking the lead 11-8 for Vos. We'll be right back.
So 11-8 in the first game for Frans Otten Stadion. 7 minutes. Quite quick.
Short game.
Short
but
game.
Indeed, I think we saw a lot of attacking shots, low kills, mostly from Fisher. I think that reflects the score. A few surprising shots from Jarmo, especially with that bows, but I think Fisher adjusted pretty quickly.
Yep.
Let's see the second game. I think.
Well, he closed in at 5-5, and then David run away with 3 points in a row.
That's correct.
And then, well, it was close in the end, but David could convert the first one.
False leads 1 game to
11-8. And we just got the head-to-head in, and then through the scores levels, new scores level site. And David Fisher has 6,868 points, and Jarmo from the side 5,974, so he's a bit up there. While in the Dutch rankings he's down. But I must say, if I read the press release from the federation that this period until somewhere in I think season start 2023. The system will learn now.
It needs data points to kind of become accurate.
So I'm not sure if this is the real. It's the right representation of the real deal.
There it is again. Nice kill from Fisher from the back end. Takes him to a 3-love lead in the second game. Nice start for Vos. Tight shot from Jarmo.
Yeah, you could hear the bang against the glass there, right under the microphone.
Forced error for Mr. Fisher. That bows from his forehand.
It's a stroke. It's a very loose ball.
Indeed.
I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think he wanted to hit the nick.
I think here you see the momentum change where he started the game off 3-love. Then he got a bit too anxious trying to win points quickly versus Jarmo kind of just kept the ball in play, and now you see he's leveled up the score.
I think this is good. If
4-2.
If Fisher can get from the side moving, that's the moment that he can score points.
I agree. I think if he can keep him indeed on his toes, moving him front and back, then he will have a harder time getting points of Fisher. A little too early hitting that drop shot, puts him out of position. You see that stretching from the back of the corner.
Oh, nicely put away. Did he get it?
He did.
I think it was double, but I'm not sure.
He barely got it. Then the next one, he got shot in the back of the head, as my coach would say.
Who's your coach?
Well, I had several coaches throughout the years. My last one was
We played it. Yeah, go
my
on.
stretch was Paul Asiante. He was the coach at Trinity College,
All right.
where I went to university.
And it was his line.
3.
Yes, he was. He had a lot of them. That was one of them.
It was one of them, yeah.
Three-point lead for Mr. Fisher.
I just wanted to start the same sentence.
7-3.
You beat me to it. So yeah, this is looking very solid now from Fisher, and I must say that when I was looking at the rankings, I was curious about how this would be, but I didn't expect this, and it hasn't been played, of course. It's halfway the second game, but looks like David has the fitness advantage at the moment.
That's true. I think there is one element that we do not see on court, or not directly, and that's preparation. I think if you know a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance that you're going to be playing a player, you prepare or you don't, right? But maybe you have fewer beers the night before than you normally would. And I think that
It's going to be stroke.
ooh, I'm not sure.
Apeldoorn.
I would have given a stroke.
4-9.
But I think it's the same for both players. They were both informed.
Yeah, they both last minute.
Yeah.
So I was playing a club evening after I did the setup here of the technique, and I saw David Fisher quite early going in and hitting a lot of balls. So I think he needed some prep. That's
oh,
out.
nice.
And there he is. I think he's on game point again, and he has 6. So I don't see this going another way than Fisher's.
Then you see it. Here's another line from my coach. He would say, "Failing to prepare is preparing to fail." And it seemed like
I like that one.
Fisher prepared today.
So there it is. 2-love to David Fisher.
2 games to love.
So, as people might have noticed, there is a QR code in the front of the wall. If you scan this, you go to a donation page where you can donate to the Eredivisie team of Frans Otten, and it will be used to accommodate players, pay for the accommodation, stuff like that. The more we get, the more we can hire and put on higher matches here. So I hope if everybody enjoys watching the matches, that they will scan the QR and you can make a donation of choice of amount. So I hope people will do that.
And a relatively lopsided game towards Fisher. I think it was also roughly around the same time, 7-6 minutes this game.
Yeah, 6 indeed.
Yep. 11-4 for Fisher.
Yeah, it's a big game. Relatively easy, I think. Looks easy.
Looks easy indeed.
It isn't, but we're sitting here. I'm even having a beer.
Yeah, and I think it's also good for the overall score. If I'm correct, the Eredivisie counts games in favor as well. So if a team wins a game, that still goes to the overall count, right? So it's a different story if you win 3-2 or win 3-love for a team.
Yeah.
Then even if you lose, you still get the 2 extra points.
Fast leads 2 games
So
to
short
love.
break also for both players. They didn't
Level.
use the whole 90 seconds. And third game. Got punished for that loose shot, Fisher.
Yeah.
Jarmo moving the ball nicely this game,
Yeah.
this point, and there he is finishing it off.
Too low.
The cross-court drop. Here I see the first time Fisher taking a deep breath, going to the front wall, taking a breather.
So apparently the scores in the live stream are a bit off at the end of each game. After 8 points it stops.
Thank you.
Um,
Hand out.
Well, it works here in the venue, so we'll be updating you through voice after 8. Try if you can fix that in between matches.
That was a good pickup,
Hand out.
but not good enough to
3-1.
put him back in position. Jarmo taking the lead in this game. And David feels a little more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There he is with a nice post
Too low.
from the front of the court. That's always a tricky shot, if
Yeah.
you ask me.
Hand out. 2-3.
It's a bit risky. Yeah, there he is again, coming back, leveling up at 3-all.
You do see some latency, from Jarmo going to the front, especially when Fisher hits that drop shot
Yeah.
in front. I think that's a shot that if he gets, he's always there a bit late. So
Yeah, that's what I meant earlier. If Fisher can get him moving,
yeah,
he can give Jarmo a hard time. Oh, that was nice.
Hand out.
It's always hard there, a ball like that. This game more tight than the previous one so far.
ooh, beautiful.
Very low.
5-4.
Fisher talking to himself.
Ooh,
There it is.
and he goes for the cross-court kill on that one.
He jumped for it,
5-0.
That's what 190 will allow you to do.
but he had to jump even
Yeah.
with 190.
Important point of the game. If Fisher is able to get a 2-point lead, it might seem like too far of a stretch for Jarno to come back with 2 games down.
Oh, it must be a stroke.
I think that's a let.
Oh, it's a let.
I think he was clear.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You don't have any replays, unfortunately, but you have to do it with this. Ellen Steenkins, the ref, agreed with you, Andres.
Again, that's a risky shot if you don't hit it well, and
this
that
gotta
is
be
a stroke.
I think he knows it.
Hand out. 6-5.
6-5, and I see David a little more out of breath than I had seen him in the previous 2 games.
Yeah. Hand
He
out.
gets a little cadeautje from
Yeah,
Jarmo.
very good, Andres, learning Dutch.
A little bit here and there.
Well, I've spoken quite a bit Dutch with you, and it's better and better and better.
Ooh, beautiful shot.
This is actually the shot that David played in the previous games, the low crosses.
Indeed, and this is a tricky shot also because he hit that ball from the backhand pretty well. There it is again. David getting punished from hitting those shots in the middle. Jarmo taking advantage of it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh!
He was quite confident there.
Flips the corner.
7-8.
Tight score, 7-8 for Fisher in this third game with a 2-love lead. Great touch.
Yeah, it is.
I really love that shot where you have to really take down the speed of your racket to hit that shot. I think that's at the highest level. Shorbagi is the master of it.
Yeah.
Mohammed.
Yeah, it's a nice comparison. I will try to analyze it a bit, but next time I watch Mohammed El Shorbagi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit lucky, I think.
Just had his third NetSuite Oracle Championship win last night against his brother Marwan, who is also one of the players in the Frans Otten roster.
It's number 1
9-8.
on the list. Hope you didn't spoil something for someone.
Oops.
Well, you have 26 people watching, so who knows. All squash fans, that's for sure. Anyway, it's hard to nowadays to not see a... To not see it with all the social media and stuff.
9-all.
We're all connected.
We're all connected. Information is everywhere.
Costly mistake at 8-9.
So it's 9-9 now, and I can see that the stream is going on now. The scores. I'm not sure why it wasn't going on before. So
Yes,
might it fixed itself?
Just a little lag on the connection.
I'm not sure.
9-all in this third game. What's your prediction, Sander?
David, 3-love. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Still possible, but Jarmo is getting some.
10-9. Game on.
Jarmo getting some strength out of that, I can see.
Definitely got a fist bump out of that last point.
Yeah, so it's 10-9. I can see the score not updating again in the stream. So.
Oh! Great shot.
10-all. Sorry, it's the audience, part of the game.
I'm there. You cannot do that.
I think Jarmo is right. If they're
Player must win by 2 points.
Stop.
Please.
There it is. Beauty. Great execution from Fisher.
Yeah.
At 11-10. First match ball.
This is tense for Fisher, I think. You know he has to do it now. Because Jarmo is playing quite well.
I think he did wake up. And also I like to believe there's a home court advantage playing at this glass court.
Yeah, I think Jarmo played here quite a lot of times, so for him it... But yeah, if you're more used to it, I know David trains a lot and also on this court, so yeah, that might be an advantage.
I would like to see David finish it off in 3 as well.
What might be important for the result. This is not.
And there it is.
Yeah, there it is. You can see it going. And there, from the side, applauding for Fischer, which is very nice. A very sporty match.
Yeah.
And let's head over to Rich King, the team manager, for the interviews.
Okay, so exciting start to the match this evening. Just have a few quick words with the players. So obviously, Jarmo, I know it's a bit difficult having been drafted in at short notice. How was the game today for you, and what were the problems that you faced from Dave?
Yeah, it was a good, clean match. Dave is just really strong when it comes to the big points. It's really hard to play, and just didn't feel like I could pressure him on this home turf. It's just too good.
Okay. Well, I mean, you put up a big fight in the third game and made it close for him. It's just fine margins. Big round of applause for Jarmo, please, everyone. And super sub, Davey Fisherman. Congratulations. Well done for getting us off to a good start. The same goes for you. How was it to play first Eredivisie match at Frans Otten with all of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's an honor to play in the Eredivisie in any sport, especially a sport that you love so much, like squash. Jarmo and I have a rivalry that goes back years, and we've had some tough matches, and I was expecting another tough match today. I knew I had to keep the pressure on the whole match, because if you give him some space, he's very clinical. So. Yeah, I was just gunning it from the beginning, giving it horns, trying to keep the pressure on as much as possible, and it worked out.
I believe last time it was 3-2, is that correct? What was your approach today? How did you do things differently to before?
Yeah, last match was 3-2, really tough, long match. I mean, like I said, I was just trying to keep the pressure on. You know, I know if I give him some space, that's when he takes it away. Then the tide of the pressure switches on to me, and then he has the momentum. So if there was any point in the match that I thought the pressure was coming back to my side, then I would try and get the pressure, get the momentum back on, try and keep it moving. That was my strategy today.
Great, well you did a great job. You got us off to a great start with a 3-0 win. So round of applause for David Fischer, please, everyone. Okay, so now we have the number 1 string match. You guys have got a chance to get a quick little drink. We're going to do the introductions to the players in a couple of minutes, okay? We'll see you in a second. Thanks very much. Okay. So, now for the top guns in the first string position. First of all, I'd just like to introduce a young Englishman who's been rising up through the rankings, currently ranked at world number 63, so he's a very high level player, so we're very excited to see him here today. With some recently good performances on some PSA events, I'd like to introduce you all to Curtis Malik! And this guy, becoming a home favourite, you see him around here day to day, ex-world number 25, still got plenty of talent, not too old, longer shorts than yesterday, Omar Meguid! Now, I want to make sure that our home support is really behind Omar. 3-0 lead already, so let's make sure we make some big cheers and give him that extra home advantage. Enjoy the match.
Half time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second match for the Eredivisie men's match happening here at Frans Otten. It's Frans Otten Stadion up against Squash Apeldoorn, and we just saw David Fischer beat the number 3 from Squash Apeldoorn, so he's just put Frans Otten up 1-0. And here we have it's the number 1 seeds, Omar Meguid. It's up against Curtis Malik. My name is Chanel Rasmus. I'll be commentating this match alongside Peter Van Nus. Welcome, Peter.
Welcome. Good evening.
Exciting matchup here, certainly. Obviously, last week, Frans Otten played against Mir Squash, where they lost that match. I thought it was a close one, especially because the number 3 Stan Al narrowly lost 3-2, and if they would have won that, they probably would have seen themselves take the lead there, because Omar Meguid did win his match pretty comfortably, 3-0. He's a former world number 25, is from Egypt. He's one of the coaches here at Frans Otten, and has really made a name for himself in the Eredivisie. Used to play for Kalise and won 3 championships for the Eredivisie team there. And now he is the player here for Frans Otten. And you know a little bit more about Curtis as well,
Yes.
Peter.
So we've got as his opponent, Curtis Malik. He's actually from the quite a well-known squash family from the UK. It's I think it has right now 5 kids in the family, all playing squash. Quite a high level. Curtis and Tori are the most well-known players, I would say. But of course, there we have also the bit of a sad story with their son Sander Malik, who actually was also a squash player and died 3 years ago. 2016 I think it was. Of a rare brain tumor, and the whole squash community actually in England, actually all over the world, tried to help the family out. Back then, unfortunately, it didn't help in the end, but it was fantastic. How you feeling togetherness, I would say, in the squash community. Everyone, including the pros, came and helped out with all sorts of great things. So this is Curtis playing. He's the oldest son. Last year he played actually for Squash City. He's been 3 times actually national champion under 19 in the UK. And he's won 3 PSA Tour satellite titles, 6 Tour Challenger titles, and his ranking is now 63. So on the PSA Tour, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think when we think about just a little bit of an error there, I think some technical difficulties, but will be sorted out very quickly. You know, when you think about the English style of play, it is very straightforward. The fundamentals are, I mean, it's second to none, right? And you would have had that. You would have had that background of playing really clean, straight lines of squash, and that's ultimately, you know, what English players are known for. And then you have the contrast of the Egyptian player coming into play here, where
a little bit of a lucky nick.
It's angles, and it's a little bit more creativity, and it's nicks, and it's really a little bit more of an aggressive, creative style of play. So I'm sure that, you know, Curtis is very active on the tour right now, so he would have come across a lot of players. Now, would he have come across someone as physical, I would say, as Omar, Meguid? Maybe not.
I would say definitely there are a couple of big guys on the tour that he would have played against. Definitely also in his years before that, he would have met people like Asal in his junior years. So I'm not too sure if he's too.
Yes, let's.
No, I don't think he'll be that much impressed by Omar's physical play. He's a big guy himself as well. Tall. Lean but tall.
Oh, it's a great ball. This court rewards those shots. I mean, it just, with the glass court, a 3-wall glass court, the ball just gets sucked into the side walls. And so if you hit it correctly and with just enough spin, once it hits the front wall, it sort of just dies immediately.
Yeah, it's something that you need to get used to in this court as well a little bit. It's got black sidewalls, so it's pretty dark. And if you're not used to it, you'll lose the ball at times. And definitely when a burst happens and that glass slows down that ball, then most of the times.
I mean, talk about home court advantage.
Yes,
right?
that's definitely home court advantage.
4-1.
Oh, that's their Meguid style coming into play.
Taking his space, not giving Curtis
4-1.
a chance to get by.
Also, home court advantage. Meguid does coach here as well, and certainly likes coaching on this glass court. So he's found the angles and knows how to work those.
And out.
A little bit of an unforced error.
2-4.
A little bit. That was the bottom of the tin. Oh,
That was
outrageous.
But great get by Curtis. There you
That's
go.
nice hold. Really nice hold. Smart play too. Angle on angle. It's tough to do.
Yeah.
Down. For all.
You know, if
Looks like the ball is slipping through the ball. Maybe the balls are a little bit humid or something.
it does feel a little warm in here, so that could be the case.
It's very weird to make those misses.
Great preparation from Curtis. If you watch the way that he prepares his racket, I mean, it's excellent. That's the fundamentals 101, right?
Gives him a lot more time, and also then more difficult. Yeah, I would agree. That's a stroke. It's also more difficult then for Omar to figure out what Curtis is going to do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's two contrasting styles a little bit here, and where Omar has the late racket preparation, so that also makes it hard to read, and then he has a little snap of the wrist as well. And, oh, nice.
Good reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stroke to Apeldoorn.
He actually went backwards, by the way.
Yeah, one too many there.
Yeah.
Stroke to Apeldoorn.
This is what I notice as well with a lot of English players right now, or players who play in England. After, of course, Paul started doing it, you can see Curtis is holding his racket up pretty high.
You mean on the grip, right?
Yeah, on the grip.
Yeah.
It's high up.
Nice cut on the ball there. That's a great hold. Omar's going to need to be careful for that.
That's
yeah. That's a difficult corner there for Omar, especially when Omar brings that ball in onto the front right corner. Malik has a slight hold, and then he just cuts down on the ball. It's really well done.
Stroke to Apeldoorn.
So definitely a strength area for Malik.
I think Omar's not talking to him about wetness on the ball or something.
8-5.
That's, I think, 3 or 4 strokes already for Malik.
All on the left side, backhand side for both players. Yeah, it's a couple of unforced errors too. It's
definitely forcing too much right now.
Yeah, and you might disagree with this, but you know, I think Omar Meguid hasn't been playing tournaments, right? He's not a professional player anymore, and so he will never lose the racket skills that he has, right? He is naturally, he just has that, and it's brilliant to see, and it's excellent. So with Malik making this a little bit more physical and extending the rallies, I would say it only works in his favor.
Definitely. Even though Omar is still pretty fit, he's not as fit as he was when he was playing the tour.
And
Curtis, of course, has got the match fitness that Omar still needs to build up.
I would say that's it, right? He is still fit, physically in great shape. I know he does a lot of CrossFit, but as you just mentioned, that's very different to match fit.
And he's a big guy, so if Malik can extend the rallies, you know, he's big and strong, Meguid, but it also will take more off him.
But he's also going to want to go for shots, right? That's a prime example there, really outstretched. The volley was on, but in that situation he wanted to go for a volley kill and a volley winner, when instead maybe just put the ball back into play. But that's not his style of play. But if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it goes in the tin. He reads that so well, Meguid. Oh, that's a great shot. You could just see how much he sort of stepped over, and he already had made his decision that he was going for that backhand volley.
He knew without even know.
Yeah, exactly.
He knew it. And that's of course then the good thing for Meguid, that he's playing like an English player who likes straight lines, likes to build up proper rallies, and he'll sort of knows instinctively where the ball is going to go.
Yeah, anything you put in the middle of the court for Meguid is going to be a winner. There's no doubt about it. So Malik really needs to extend the court, make it big, and make it really wide.
I must say I like Meguid's shorts.
If you watched the match it was last week, right, against Mir Squash, I think he might have stolen some pants from his wife's closet or something. Oh!
Great shot, great deception.
That's a nice ball.
Apeldoorn leads 1 game to love.
Well, it's Curtis Malik who gets himself on the board first here in this first game with really clean lines, but then has great creativity and great hands in the front of the court. He wins that first game 11-8.
No, 12-8 by the looks of it.
12-8.
Yeah. Okay, game 2 is about to start. So I guess the coach of Malik would have just told him to go do the same thing they did, maybe extend the race a little bit more to test Meguid. So Rich King is coaching Omar right now. What do you think that Rich would have told Omar? To stay away from the long rallies, or?
I mean,
Apeldoorn leads 1 game.
Meguid's game is an aggressive game, right? So you're not going to, as a coach, you don't change that from someone mid-game.
No.
So he's not going to sort of tell him to do something that's against his style of play. One thing that I do think he'll say is probably just make Meguid aware of where Malik's strength areas are, and I would say that's the front right corner for sure, right? He's won a couple of points anytime the ball's gone in there. And then secondly, he's going to tell Meguid just to improve his quality of length as well. Because
especially on the left side.
Exactly. The left was not great from Meguid. So those are 2 areas immediately that I would have mentioned, and I'm sure that Rich had said something similar to Meguid as well.
I like the way Meguid hits his backhand. It's very nice.
What do you like about it?
It's got a nice snap. It's got a nice. Well, here it's got a nice sound. But I like the way it looks. I need to look a little bit more what I really like about it, but the way he moves and the way he hits it looks nice. When I look at so I was talking about the grip, right? Malik, it's pretty high. I guess for more control of the ball, right?
Yeah, just a reminder to our viewers as well that the score is a little bit delayed sometimes. So if you are seeing something slightly different to what's being called out, just a reminder there.
It was on, but
yeah, you saw a little bit of the frustration from Meguid earlier, right? You can see that he's not quite as sharp as what he usually is, and is making some unforced errors that maybe, if he was on, those would be outright winners.
Yeah. I like the swing when he's got quite a nice preparation and good rotation of the shoulder.
Almost like he plays with a little bit of a closed racket face on that backhand side because that's a great shot. Because he plays with so much cuts and such an open racket on the forehand side, he doesn't make the adjustment on the backhand. So sometimes it looks like it's a little closed. There's a little bit of spin on it. If you look closer, you can see how open that forehand is. And then sometimes he likes to put a little bit of topspin on the backhand. Oh, that's a great shot.
That's a good shot.
Great lines, both
nice
players. Do you see what I mean there? That was the topspin again.
Yes, sir. Why? I think there was more than enough room.
Maybe a little tactical here from Meguid to open the door and take a slight breather for himself.
10-15 seconds extra. Doesn't sound like a lot, but on that level, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's high tempo, right? So these players also only need like 15 seconds to reset themselves. So that's the level of fitness they're at. I like the way Malik actually takes his space on the backhand side. You say that you like Meguid's backhand. I think Malik also has a really nice style of play where you can see the elbows away from the chest. He makes himself a little bit bigger and takes his space really nicely.
Meguid just got a stroke. Right. It was a little bit fabricated in my opinion.
No, I think that was correct ball. If you see where the first bounce landed, I did think that Meguid would have gone there. And I guess the question, maybe what you're asking, is did he intentionally cause that interference?
He wanted to play a little bit too, in my opinion. That's a great shot. But I also thought the ball was a little bit too short, and that's why he wanted to play a little bit more. But no, that's the way it is.
The string sung there as he cut through that ball, comes around it. Beautiful execution.
That's what people love to see, of course. A couple of good shots, a couple of good nicks, or a good deception. There's a great tight shot.
5-2.
Yeah, I would say got a little lucky there because that previous shot was not one of his best. But you could see that as he hit it, he already knew, oh, I'm going to be in trouble, and followed it up.
Yeah. But he's turning it around, 5-2. Got a little lead.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Yeah. He's calling out to Mr. Malik, saying, hey, what are you doing with my shots? Are you going to get them? Are you going to see them? Are you going to read me?
But to me, he's changed one thing, in that he's just played a little bit better into the back of the court first before he's decided to go short.
7-2.
You can see it too. I mean, he's pointing to the back corners.
Stroke to false.
Well,
and the quality of Malik has certainly dropped. We can't ignore that, right? It's not what it was in that first game.
True. Definitely. 8-2 is a healthy lead. Let's see.
Yes, left. The ball was more to your left.
I agree with that. What do you think?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was again fabricating that a little bit. I also say it was a little bit more to the left, but I think because I also think that Malik didn't clear enough. But yeah, I agree with the referee on that one. But also, I would have said I wouldn't give him a stroke for that.
That's not wide enough from Meguid. That's better. Oh!
There you go. That shot wide enough that gave him the opportunity to play that shot, because Malik's shot wasn't good enough. Came back into the court. A little bit of a hold. Looks like Meguid is finding his shots.
Oh, excellent. I mean, Meguid would make an excellent hardball doubles player. If you've ever played that game, it's mostly played in North America, but it is all about the angles, about the reverse bow shots between the legs.
I've seen it a couple of times.
He would be an excellent player, that's for sure.
It actually looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, he's got room to play here, Meguid, a healthy 7-point lead. So,
but what he doesn't want is to lose that feeling. So not too many mistakes coming up.
There are much better lines from Meguid. That we did not see that in the first.
4-10, game ball.
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't spoken enough about the lob because we haven't really seen it in play here. But with a glass court, and especially this one too, when the ball gets put up high, the lights are different to what they are on a normal court, traditional court. So you do lose the ball in the lights for that split second, and immediately your timing is off. Right? So using height on here is a huge advantage for players.
So now Meguid needs to be a little bit more careful. It's 10-5, still a healthy lead, but
that's nice. Good change of pace. Surprised he didn't volley that.
5-10, game ball.
going for it again.
Yeah.
Careful, tricky,
Game ball.
tricky times here.
Yeah, I don't think that bothers him that too much right now. Until it's 10-8.
No, but you also don't want momentum to shift to your opponent, right?
Definitely.
There it is, there's that boast. Oh, that's a great get
That's
from
a great
Meguid.
get. That's a great get. Super fast.
He's still got it.
Definitely. That was a great get, and he's not happy.
Well, I think he's not happy just because he's not playing clean lines, right? And he's not quite finding his mark yet. So I can understand it from his perspective. He's a world-class player, and he has high standards for himself. So when you're not quite on, and you know what you're doing wrong, it can be really frustrating. And so I think he's a little bit maybe taken back that he's finding himself at 1-all. Obviously would have liked to be 2-love up here, but he did a great job there, getting off to a really positive start, really aggressive play. And now let's just see if he can continue with finding that good length and then looking for that creative play into the front of the court.
Great. Okay, we're back for game 3, 1-all. And let's see what this game is going to bring.
What's your prediction here?
Toss to serve, love all.
Well, I think we're going to be seeing the same from Meguid did what he did at the start of the second game. He's going to try to play good lines
1-love.
before he goes for a kill. And I think that Malik needs to be a little bit more aggressive himself. He's a little bit laid back instead of attacking the movement of Meguid.
He doesn't. Oh,
There you go. That's a good shot.
I was just about to say he doesn't volley that much. Commentator's curse, right?
Yeah, this was the kill. Great deception from Meguid. Malik is not really reading him. Trouble reading Meguid.
Good touch. Good height. I mean, wouldn't you have trouble reading Meguid as well? Wouldn't you also have trouble reading Meguid?
Yeah, but I'm not Curtis Malik. I'm not playing on that level.
Yeah, understood. But I also think that when you play against Egyptian players, especially, it's so difficult to find your groove on there. I still remember the first time I ever played someone from Egypt. It was at the British Junior Open. Yeah, I don't even remember what year it was. It was my first round match, and it's just so different to what you're used to, and it takes you aback a little bit, because that traditional style of play that you've sort of been brought up learning and teaching sort of gets thrown out of the window a little bit. It's like, wait, what?
There are only a few Egyptians that play sort of the standard squash. The rest is attacking and angles and kills.
And yet they're, when they do play straight lines, they're pretty darn good, right? They're very good, and Meguid is showing that as well. But it is that any moment they get, any glimpse of an opportunity they get, something gets produced from it. Right? And that takes such skill, but it also takes guts as well. To be brave.
And also, that's what people like to see, of course. That's what you like looking at. Of course, it's also great to see people play great lines. And people like Paul Cole, for instance, great shot.
Read it. Trouble. Oh, that is outrageous.
Where's the guitar? Where's the guitar?
4-2,
that last move that looked like that famous rally between
Greg
Gulce and Ashur ended up playing the guitar. That was a great.
And Meguid reads the game so well, hey?
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking about the English style of play. For instance, Paul Cole with amazing lines, of course, his fitness as well, but great lines and awesome backhand defense. And now also offense. He's, of course, now with Rob Owen changing his game a little bit more into those kind of shots.
Right back at you.
Yeah. And that's also why I commented on Malik and the high grip. That's something that Paul changed as well, just to give more control, I guess, on his shots. And therefore giving him more chance to properly attack.
A lucky bounce there, home court advantage for sure.
Yeah, what would you do? Would you apologize for that?
Yes,
For that, in that situation, yeah, that was pure luck.
6-3.
I know you probably disagree, having played against me a couple of times. It's yeah, maybe not the right word to use, but I don't quite know how else to explain it, but it does seem like Malik is getting a little bit desperate to produce something out there, so his quality has dropped significantly.
Yeah, it looks like he's a little bit frustrated with the way things are going.
He's under a lot of pressure from Meguid now too.
It's good to see. Malik is not a bad player.
Not at all.
He's definitely an up-and-coming player in the UK. And to play like he does, Meguid.
Trouble. Oh.
That's trouble, yeah. Great rally.
And out. 4-7.
That took a little bit out of Meguid.
Let's just watch the tee position of Meguid a little bit. I feel like he's actually 1 foot in front of the tee. Maybe really looking for the volley of everything.
8-4.
Takes a lot of energy, but it also forces your opponent also to use up a lot of energy.
That was a great shot, by the way. Gently
feathered into the net.
Yes, that's a nice word for that.
Do you see what I mean with the closed racket? Do you see that there? It's a little bit tilted. So it's almost like sometimes he does this top spin.
Yeah, he likes that. He likes the top spin. He likes also the top spin drop.
Look at his, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see his strings are literally feathering. They have little white feathers coming off them.
And at the right spot, actually. Yeah. You can see that he hits the ball pretty well. Middle of the racket. Malik still has problems reading him. That was a fake to go across. Malik already did the step to the left. It's done all the work.
7-8.
Now Malik is all the way back. 7-8.
7-8.
Very smart.
It's definitely not his first rodeo.
Definitely not. So the only thing is when you hold the racket that high on the grip, you have less power. So you need to force.
Oh!
You need to force yourself a little bit more to hit harder. And I have a feeling that
I don't think that's let.
7-8.
I'm very surprised he asked for that. If he had played that, he could have hit a winner. You don't think so?
Well, he was a little bit out of position for that.
Little bit. That's a stroke.
That's a stroke.
Straight force. And out.
No, I think
9-7.
there's a little bit. Yeah, the previous one I was a little bit. I would also probably say it's so difficult sometimes if you don't have a replay. I understand that Malik also says, for what? What's going on? Why doesn't he play it? Putting height in it and slowing the ball down, just give himself the time to get back to the tee.
It's such smart play, right? And it's also knowing where you're at, right? As a player, sort of, you obviously, it's a great shot.
Yeah.
Physically, you develop differently, right? You're getting a little bit older. You're not quite playing as many matches as what you used to. So being able to adapt your style of play as well is such a huge skill to do. Not everyone can do that.
No, definitely not. Not everyone thinks about slowing the ball down, putting some height in it, so that you can get yourself back in a normal position on the tee, instead of keeping yourself under pressure.
Yeah, and it's knowing yourself too, and your strengths and weaknesses as well. And it's it makes the game very interesting when you're able to have that much awareness about yourself and your ability and where it's at.
That was a great game. That was a.
It's one too many crosses. I do understand what he's trying to do with trying to be really aggressive and make Malik move around, but if I was him, I'd add one more straight ball instead of one more cross.
I almost thought that Malik was going to ask there.
Me too. Nope.
Of course. 9-all. It's getting tense here in the third game.
He does not want this to go to 5, that's
No.
for sure. That only benefits Malik.
No.
Yes, let's.
Yeah, it popped out, but his racket was way up high and the ball was down by his feet. So if it
Meguid jumped out of the way. So to me, I actually. I thought as well, but right now this is very handy for him.
Yes, let.
Next
9-all.
15 seconds again. Smart play.
That's what I was mentioning earlier, right? Look how far Meguid steps up on the tee, because he just wants to volley everything he can.
But that width was perfect. Looks like Malik got his confidence back.
Stroke to cross. Hand out. 10-all.
So there was some static on the line. That was my phone. Apologies for that. It's too close to the microphone. I hope that's gone now.
Well, tense times here.
There we go, 10-all.
That's a great shot.
No let.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. There wasn't definitely no let.
11-10.
The quality
Game
of
ball.
shot was too good and wrong line from Meguid.
See, when you see Meguid hit that backhand, it's more. Don't know the English word for it.
Say it in
it's
Dutch,
like
I'll try and translate.
Souplesse. So it's got it's forced. It's a forced backhand. I feel for Malik, not forced, and he took his time. He took his space, and he knew that he was taking his space. I'm not sure if he did a step forward as well, but
Yeah, it's always hard to see when you don't have the replay, right? But I do think he
actually we had the replay there.
rightfully took his space.
Yeah. It flows. His backhand flows.
A little bit more effortless is probably the word
that's
that
a
you're
nice
looking
word,
for.
yeah. There's a nice flow to it, where Malik, because of the grip, probably has to put a little bit more power in it.
One too many crosses again there. Go straight. Ooh.
See his leg? So dangerous. Yes, because of the leg, because of the training leg.
Let's have a look there.
It's so dangerous like this.
Sorry, Sjoerd. I'm commentating right now. I can't do the court cleaning. Oh, he used his own scarf for that. Looks of it.
Yeah, that's dedication, that right there.
I think the ball was a little bit too far forward for that. There was contact, but I think the ball was too good.
I think the referee has decided to play a let on that just because she's a little unsure about what happened on the tee. So I think that's correct call for sure.
11-all.
So a little bit of a reset for Meguid here, probably the physical reset that he needed, and it's going to be important for Malik to stay mentally into this.
They're going to leave with a couple of good drops.
12-11. Game ball.
Yeah, he's hunting that ball.
Yeah, it's almost like one full step in front of the tee line.
Great lines.
Too short for Malik. Oh, good cut.
Very fair. Corners on double. 12-all.
I really like the way Malik strikes the ball. I think technically it's very clean and good preparation. It's nice to watch. He likes to cut down on that ball. You can hear the sound it makes too when it hits the strings. There, exactly it. That was double. It was double, right?
I'm not too
13-12.
sure. I'm not too sure. I would like to see that in a replay.
I saw the ball not up.
I think it hit the side wall, and he got it, but I'm not 100% sure. It's very difficult to see.
I think this is why the job of a referee is so difficult. We all have different opinions on what we see, right? But
true. And in this case,
I did think that ball was double.
She's adamant that's
smart serve from Malik. That was really smart play. It's that's mature squash there. That to me is really impressive to watch. Not that, I mean, if you know the game and obviously have seen it, it's little subtleties like that, right? It's I like to refer to it as a gamemanship, right? You know how to play the game a little bit. There, Meguid has gotten sort of into a little bit of a conversation with the referees. Mine's not quite there. You notice that about him, and you decide to serve a body serve, and you've just completely thrown him off his game.
Especially because Meguid was waiting to do cross-court volley neck.
Cross-court neck, exactly, and that's super smart play from Malik. So that finds himself now 2-1 up here against Omar Meguid. 14-12 in that third game, really close work, and great squash from both players.
So we're back for game 4. I actually am hoping for a great game from Meguid. So we can have a 5th game because I'm enjoying the squash here. It's great squash.
Peter, did you see Omar Meguid play when he was still on the tour?
Yes, I've seen him a couple of times.
And what is one of the differences that you notice between then and now that he's not on the tour? Obviously, physically, that's the thing. But have you noticed any changes that he's made in his style of play?
Well, back then it was, of course, for his livelihood, and I think he was, quite hard to on the court. You know, you see there was some of the players who.
That's a winner. I'm going for my shot. I hit it.
Let's wait for this.
Sorry. He went in.
I sort of agree with the referee that when he let, it was. Shot was affected. And on the other hand, that's the thing that I have with that rule, affected not.
I have to read up on the rules again when it comes to that, but I'm pretty sure that if it's affected but not, it's in that situation he's made contact, but it hasn't impacted his swing enough that he wasn't about to hit a winner from that shot.
True,
Does
I
that
agree.
make sense?
And that's the rule sort of. It was affected, but not what's the word? Prevented.
Hitting,
But the weird thing is, and that's what I sort of don't agree with that rule. It just if you hit a player, that means that player is too close to you.
Yeah,
He's in your swing, so he's pushing forward and giving you less time and less space for your own shot. And at that point in time, I just think, okay, you hit the player. Tough luck. You should give the other player more space.
Yeah.
And that's a stroke against you because you need to give the player more space and stop. What's the word? Crowding him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is the conversation, because it does that call in those instances bring up a lot of discussions amongst people because it's a rule that is very. It's very open-ended, I would say.
I was first very, I remember Mike Riley, one of the lead referees in the world. He was one of the first who actually started doing that. It was, of course, agreed on the referees and with the PSA that they would do that. But he's always explained it very nicely, with affected, not prevented. But on the other hand, if you get hit by the racket of your opponent, then that means you're too close. Simple.
Yeah, understood.
4-1.
That's no lie. It's a good start here from Omar Meguid.
Yeah.
He hasn't tried anything crazy, right? Not that he did in the other games. It's just that they haven't really been working as effectively. So he's gone to a little bit of a simpler style of play. He's also gotten a little frustrated with himself, which I think actually helps him and plays in his favor, because then he just comes out like guns blazing, right, when he's out on court, and so that fuels him slightly. And you can see the response here: 4-1 lead.
That just hit the sidewall that he didn't want. Oh, that is a great shot. That's a great shot. That's what people want to see when you go to squash court. Great cross court volley.
And he's just so good at that.
It felt like he decided to do that at such a late time, almost as if he first wanted to hit it straight. And no, this is the moment, and that's frustration for Malik.
Forcing it.
Yeah. That ball was definitely not on for a cross-court volley, Nick.
Yeah, and that was the opposite, right? Making the decision before you even know where the ball's going to, or the quality of the shot.
It's great. Oh.
And out. 2-6.
That's the frustrating part when you're chasing the ball, when you're forcing your opponent to play shots, and then you make the mistake yourself. This is hard work for him. Well, for anyone, of course. Exciting squash. Exciting squash. I love seeing this.
The crowd loves
so
it.
Little Miguel Rodriguez pirouette and playing that ball. And then the flick. Typical Egyptian flick. Love it. He hadn't played that shot at all the whole match. Great moment to do it. That was a good width.
3-7.
Again, he's got room to play now a little bit, but he found himself in a danger zone in this last game. So he knows that if he gives Malik an inch, he takes it, right? Yeah. And he runs with it. So really just has to stay engaged.
I don't understand why Malik is not volleying that ball a little bit more. Like this one, step in.
He hasn't taken his space and timing on the tee position. It's such a contrast to Omar.
Yeah, he lets Omar off the hook a little bit. I think Curtis also should volley a little bit more. And put a lot more pressure on Meguid.
It's a wrong line. He expected the ball not.
I would also. He should have gone.
He should have gone behind, to be honest. Yeah.
8-4.
I agree with that. I also don't agree with the referee.
You see, this is what I mentioned earlier with Meguid, because he steps so far up on the court and on the tee position. He's looking to hunt the volley, which is a great way of playing. But there are times where he sort of guesses a little bit and then just thinks he guesses where the ball is going to go and the quality that it's going to be at, and then it doesn't quite go there. So I think he got a little lucky there, to be honest. Yeah, that's a stroke.
Yeah.
Has to
and where Malik is playing the ball in the previous shot.
9-4.
Meguid, smart enough, goes for the stroke instead of playing that ball.
Well, it's gamemanship again, right? Like what we saw towards the end of the previous game with Malik playing that body serve. Yeah. It's knowing how to play those little subtleties of the game, which you only get from experience. That's so hard to teach.
Great height. There you go, slowing him down. Oh,
it's unlucky.
Yeah.
And out.
Right ball to play.
5-9.
Yeah, it's on.
9-5. Let's see what Omar can do. For me, it's I'm hoping that he gets his fifth set. It's great squash to watch.
Absolutely.
That's a great shot.
This is trouble.
Yeah, there we go.
Again, just that feather into the front right corner. It's, you can hear the strings from up here.
Little bit like Meguid. You know, taking the shot in.
Yeah.
And actually, Mohamed El-Shibaki does it as well with the.
Yeah, he loves that. Well, that's it. That was just the fuel that he needed, right? Losing that previous game, 14-12. It was a little bit of a fire that was lighting under him. And he came out absolutely rocking every shot that he needed to play there. And that's, that's what gets him going.
Now we have to see what the fifth game is going to bring. I think his shots will keep on going. And the moment that they're rolling in, and then Malik is in trouble.
Yeah, I think he's going to get off to a flying start now in the fifth. There's almost no stopping him, to be honest. Momentum is on his side. He's a confidence player, right? Yes, when he feels good, he keeps things going, keeps things rocking. So, yeah, will be a big ask and a task for Curtis Malik in this fifth. But anything can happen.
Definitely, squash. There we go, game 5. So with your comments, everything that you are expecting Meguid to take this?
Yeah, I don't see momentum shifting in favor of Curtis Malik as much as I do like the way that he plays, and I'm very impressed with it. I just think that the fact that Meguid won the previous game 11-5, that's a massive confidence boost for him.
True, but then shots like that have to go in.
Yeah, of course.
Lines are not good enough.
Oh, slight mishit or intentional there?
It looked like he was going for a reverse post, but trying to get Meguid a little bit
off balance.
But I really think Malik shouldn't be. I don't think that Malik is tired at all. I think he should make it way more attritional. Way more physical than this. This tempo is great for Meguid.
Do you feel like hitting more straight lines, or actually trying to twist and turn Meguid?
Twist and turn.
Yeah, that's
it's difficult.
Tough.
That's tough, but if you have 4 or 5 rallies of that, you can see how fit Meguid really is. Even if you would lose 3 of the 5. In the end, if you at that point in time take his fitness away.
What about staying straight lines and forcing Meguid to be the first one to open up the court,
yeah, but that's the problem.
Countering from that?
That's the problem with Meguid, because then Meguid can put his cross-court volley nicks in or his shots, and then you are the one under pressure.
Sure, but if the rallies are going, 5, 6, 7 shots longer than what they were previously, at some point he is going to break down. I mean, I have, he has a high-risk style of play, which means that he's also going to make a lot of errors. So what do that error count? Absolutely, but he also wasn't tired.
And that's what I'm saying. So if he makes him tired, more chances of mistakes. But I have a feeling that these values are perfect for Meguid. Only 1 or 2 steps from the tee.
No, I agree with you. I just think it's, yeah.
There you go.
I think if you're playing a twisting and turning game against Meguid, you're sort of, one shot bad, then you've put yourself out of position.
You have to be able to do it, of course, but still.
Oh.
That's a guess.
Guessing game there.
4-2.
I think the next 2 points.
Crucial.
Yeah.
Better.
So there, this time he didn't opt for the volley on that serve. He just let it go past and play a great straight shot that gave him the opportunity to put it away on the left.
Yeah, it was also, I think also a little bit more intentional. Like he actually realized, okay, I can't hit any more shots into the 10.
Pushing a little bit back. Meguid is just taking 1 or 2 steps most of the time.
No, I see.
Of course, he's a big guy.
Whoa! The ball's from behind. It's nowhere near me. It's an easy stroke. I'll kill him. It's nowhere near me. I'll murder him.
Yes, let.
It's either a no let or a stroke. Net ball is not very. I don't think it's the right decision. Can I hit him or not? It's a stroke. If I'm not, then it's a no let. You know it.
This is there you go. Nice discussion.
Face is turning a little pale there as he's needs to conserve some energy here. It's hard work out there, that's for sure. Stakes are high too, this he wins this match. Frans Otten has won this fixture. He loses it. It's 1-1 and all pressure is on their number 2 player.
Great. That was the right thing to do, but a little bit too high.
5-3.
He hunted that drop, but didn't come off the racket as he wanted it. Again, the 2-point lead for Malik. Crucial. And again, he hunted for that, right?
It's just his tee position is so high. So Malik is forced to have to hit a really wide ball.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Yeah, look at that. That cut is beautiful. As he slices down on that ball, it just sort of drops dead and it gets sucked into the floor almost. Oh, this is trouble zone here. This is dangerous.
7-3.
4-point lead.
I was very wrong in my in my thinking that he was going to come out firing in this fifth.
With just a couple of mistakes, I think about 3 mistakes from Meguid that were in the previous game they went well. And now it was a tin or too high. Curtis is grinding.
Takes a
he also knows that the longer it goes, the more chances on mistake for the opponent.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Has to be a stroke.
Has to be straight. He got it. That was actually that cross drop, how you want to call it. That was pretty amazing.
4-7.
For someone running so fast at the ball, he stopped in time.
The touch he has. I mean, it's no wonder that his strings look the way they do.
I'm amazed actually that they haven't broken yet. Shot. Great shot. He missed it. There was
8-4.
again the cut short kill on the backhand.
Trouble. Oh. Get up. Oh.
Almost. Great dive.
9-4.
It's giving it everything. It's great to see.
Or maybe the strings did break, he just changed his racket. I just saw him take another racket out of his bag.
Okay. Now the good thing with these kind of floors is that it doesn't take long for the sweat to go into the wood. It's not that slippery.
It doesn't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you would know. You're an expert court cleaner, having cleaned courts on all types of surfaces. I mean, Tournament of Champions.
Well, actually,
lots of national champions here.
And DPD Open, definitely.
You're an expert.
Yeah, we had a great team at TOC. It was a lot of fun doing that.
Oh,
great shot.
Great straight. Yeah, no. Minimal interference, I would say.
I agree with that.
I tripped over his leg.
10-4.
I tripped over his leg. What are you talking about?
10-4. I didn't see any contact between the
Yeah, but just something I tripped over. That's it. Ask him. Ask him. He's saying I bumped into him. Ask him. What's the problem?
Yeah, so interesting conversation, right? He's saying that he tripped over him on his way to the ball, but I would argue that he caused that interference himself.
Yeah, but then again, the other time, okay, but he had his leg more out than Curtis definitely had. Curtis got the yes let, but I agree with the referee that was no let. I don't think there was a lot of interference.
Yeah, right box, sorry. 10-4, match ball.
6 match balls here for Curtis Malik to equalize the score. But again, this is the Omar that comes out firing, right?
Yeah, you got players who really
gets fueled by this.
Yeah, they of course at that point in time they're angry, but it works in their favor because the other player is also a little bit taken back by it.
Oh my
that's a great ending.
11-5.
Great ending of a great match.
Match to Apeldoorn, 3 games to 2.
What a way to finish that, and what a way to equalize it.
14-12,
I think
5-11,
Omar's still going back to that point before.
What a way to equalize that for Squash Apeldoorn, and that is 5-set 3-2 win for Curtis Malik, and that brings the score to 1-1 in this fixture.
Massive round of applause
Great
for
game,
these guys
great
for doing
match.
such a great battle there, please.
Great battle.
Well, don't go too far because we have one more match coming your way. It's the number 2 players, Scott Gilliander up against Robert Downer, coming shortly.
I mean, always difficult to lose in 5, but it was a fantastic effort on your part. How was the experience there today on court?
Yeah, I think it was good. Haven't played a competitive match in a while, so it's good to be back. I think Curtis played well in patches, but yeah, next time I'll win in 3.
Yeah, well, I think, you're still showing that you can match it with some of the top players here, so credit to you. And I think, first and foremost, you did Foss proud by putting up a great performance there. So round of applause to Omar Meguid, please. And Curtis, congratulations. Obviously, travelling around a lot, flying in for this today. How was it for you today to start?
Yeah, I struggled a little bit with the court conditions and Omar's racket skills. He was cutting the volley really, really early, and just had to try and find a way to get the ball past him and find my length from this court. It's found it a little bit tough tonight.
What was some of the main ways you tried to combat these assets of Omar?
Just trying to keep it as tight to the walls as I could and use a little bit of height when I was under pressure. Didn't do it the best, but he was picking off very well tonight, so I just tried to stick in there as much as I could.
Well, I think you managed to keep it as stable as you possibly could in what was quite a high-pressured match in the end. So, congratulations to you. Congratulations, coach Malik, everybody. Well played, guys. Thanks. Okay, so that leaves the last match to be a very exciting tie. One to decide the tie because matches are 1-1. We have a couple of minutes now until we welcome on the next bunch of players, so feel free to grab a drink and make sure you get behind our home guy, Scotty Gilliander.
nothing to say, you should hear it all. I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, oh. And I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No,
The match is tied at 1-all, so we have a very exciting matchup here. I'd like to welcome this guy back again to Frans Otten. He's actually here at the beginning of September, someone I know quite well from playing a lot back in junior days. He's currently ranked at 111 in the world. Englishman, great lad, nice to have him back again. Robert Downer! And making his debut for Eredivisie for us tonight, the little Irish leprechaun, the boy wonder. He was an Irish national champion and is now here in Frans Otten Stadion to put out the performance of his life, Scott Gilliander! Good luck guys, have a good game. Right, let's make sure we make the house as loud as possible for Scott on this final matchup. Enjoy!
Welcome back, everyone. Match 3 of the evening, 1-1. The decider.
We have an exciting match ahead, a rematch.
A rematch?
Yeah, I think they played in the tournament here at Frans Otten maybe a month or 2 ago.
At the PSA satellite, right?
That's correct. I think Rob took the lead, or he was 3-love. It was a 3-love match in that one. I asked Scott earlier this week how he felt. He said that he liked playing somebody like Rob, you know, because he's steady. He's not too unpredictable type of player.
Typical English steady squash.
Indeed.
It's good to get yourself in your game, I would say.
I remember first meeting Rob in England. I was coaching with Brian Patterson, some of the squash camps he used to host. He's from the States. And Rob used to play when he was maybe 12 or 13 years old. He would used to come to these camps, and he was the same character that you have today on court. I think he's now based in Prague.
Yes, correct. I saw that as well. I wonder if he's then also playing with Mr. Gaultier or not.
I think there's a few players that train in Prague, and my brother's one of them, so I know that Gaultier jumps in with them, but he only likes to play 45-50 minutes really hard, and then he will stop. So he does train with the guys, but under his conditions.
His knee, of course, is a big problem.
Sorry, it's too loud.
But here we are, first game of the match.
I remember seeing him play at that at the tournament here.
Yes, lad.
I'm not sure of that.
Dodgy one.
Yeah, I would have said play that ball. Give him a lad, but then warn him to play the ball.
That's a good call.
I think something happened in the final, the semi-final with Rob. I'm not sure if it was Rob, actually. They were not too happy about movement of the other player.
In that PSA tournament here.
Yes. He holds the racket very low on the butt of the racket.
Indeed, but he does get quite a bit of speed on that racket, and you can see that he hits a nice, clean, hard ball. So Rob is currently ranked 110, 111,
106, I think
106 in the world. And Scott's starting to get his bearings in the PSA Tour. Starting this season, he's already played 2 or 3 tournaments. He's got another tournament this weekend here in the Netherlands, which Rob is also playing. So good to see some Irish youth back on the tour.
3-love.
I can see what he meant with he likes to play Rob. It's great lines, no weird flicks.
Indeed, pretty clean.
Yeah, I like his backhand as well. It's always a nice sound to hear a ball hit cleanly.
Indeed.
Someone who could do that as well is Elias or Omar Mossad.
Also, I think Elias, I remember watching him with his dad train when he was 9-10 years old, and it was a lot of the hard drills when he was 8 or 9 years old. So I think he's had a pro training from the moment he was.
Yeah, but his father was also like a very good player, right?
His father was also, well, he was part of the Peruvian national team for many years, and #1 for several years also. So yeah, he's got a background in squash.
1-4.
Hey, Scott got himself on the board with a great length and tight shot. But what would you know? Of course, he's played him before. He lost against Rob, but
I think here the first game is about settling in. And I think Scott needs to get comfortable. He looks pretty comfortable to me at this time, but he's not finding a way to finish off the points, right? So
yeah.
I think that's, for example, a pretty loose volley. Could have been a stroke.
Yeah.
But it's
fabricating a little bit with his racket behind Scott. But on the other hand, you know, he's you would expect Rob to be super fit, since he's playing quite a lot. So since he's quite a tall guy, and wouldn't you want to move him around, twist and turn him?
Yeah, I still think in the first game you're kind of figuring out, okay, where does it hurt the other player? What are they doing and what are they not doing? And for example, if you compare this to the previous game that we watched, they're much less aggressive on the volley. So the players like Omar was really creeping into the side. He was almost at the service box to volley that. These players are respecting those shots a lot more, and they're kind of staying in the middle, hence not hunting for that volley. So that creates less opportunities.
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the previous match as well. That Curtis Malik didn't volley enough to put pressure on Meguid.
Yeah, and it's tough with somebody like Omar who takes up so much space. Oh, unfortunate. There it is. Downer with a 4-point lead in the first game. And Scott, nice pickup.
Yeah. A little bit of trickery.
Overdoing it a bit, getting punished for it.
Yeah, and of course Scott knows this court pretty well. We all know that a boast here works pretty well.
Yeah. But this is the kind of game that Scott will have to play to beat him, right? It's a patience game. He needs to wait for the opening, and in a way he needs to win the points 2 or 3 times before he actually gets the point. Right? So he needs to be patient and just wait for the opportunities and take them when he has to.
Definitely. And not be afraid to work hard, get tired.
Yep. Nice movement from both players. I think I haven't really seen Scott play this season, and I do see he's slimmer than last season. That's for sure.
That's that should have been punished a little bit more. He's working him. Well, they're both working each other, of course, but
like how Downer really punishes you with that hard, straight volley when you give him something in the middle. There it is, caught wrong-footed. That's a great rally from both players.
It does look that Downer is playing a little bit with Gillianders. A little bit of gallery play at times.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Nice rally, great rally.
6-2.
Let's see who takes this long rally better. Downer at least doesn't show any exhaustion.
Still early in the match. They both still look fresh, but definitely that rally will put some miles on your legs.
That's great, guys. guess the next couple of rallies we'll see if the questions that downers are asking have been answered. It's also nice to see that the Carboflex 125 is still in play. the old black and yellow first Carboflex.
That's an oldie but goodie.
Oh, definitely.
And he got 2 of them on Marktplaats for 25 euros a pop.
He told me that as well.
Yeah. Scott has a way of finding a good deal.
The thing is, though, I don't think he dares to take off the bumper. Even though they're cheap, he doesn't want to break them. Because these rackets do break easily.
Yeah,
I remember the next one, 125 is. Mohamed Al-Shubagi was playing with that one, of course. And I think he almost won every match. It broke at least one because of hitting the side wall.
Yeah.
And he scraped off that. He scraped off the bumper, which actually was one of the first rackets that I think you could almost rip it off.
Yeah.
But
now it's now you see a lot of players doing that. A lot of the pros like the lighter.
Yes.
Ooh, beautiful shot. Then you can do that, of course, if you have 4 or 5 points to spare. That puts Rob in the first game ball of the match.
Good shot. Good cut. There you go.
5-10, game ball. Down. 6-10, game ball.
Downer.
Two more points and he will feel it a little bit, the tension. So come on, Scott, let's get them. There you go.
Nice. There we go.
Good deception.
Game ball.
Ooh.
That was
11-7.
very
fortunate.
Apeldoorn leads 1 game to love.
That's not fair at all. That's ridiculous.
So first game to squash Apeldoorn. 1-love.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Downer was also not very happy with that lucky shot, although he will take it, of course.
I would too. So in the front of the court, you will see a QR code. For those watching, if you're enjoying this, you can scan that QR code and make a donation. That the proceeds from that will go towards the Eredivisie teams to fund these players, these professional athletes that are coming from all over the world here to the Netherlands to be part of the Eredivisie.
So scan and donate, people.
We'll be right back.
Apeldoorn leads 1 game to love.
So Anders, what do you think Rich would have told Scott to do?
Love.
What would you tell Scott to do?
I think he needs to continue to keep the ball to the back and just move him around, make sure that he's not trapped in the back. But I think he needs to switch up the pace a little bit, because what Rob is good at is just that steady, hard pace, cross-court straight. But you haven't really seen a lot of, there's the lob, of variations in the game, so weird angles or uncomfortable positions. And I know Scott can hit those, but he's not really creating those angles. So I would tell him, yeah, you can get a bit more creative, because you're not going to beat somebody like Rob by playing his own game, right? By playing straight and cross.
Yeah, unless you are more tight and more precise, but it doesn't seem to be the case right now.
Then you see it again that when Scott hits a good shot, a good straight drive, he still goes back to the tee and he doesn't creep in on that side. So I think that could be something that could be improved. I'll call it out when I see it next time.
2-1.
Looks like Mr. Downer has found the post on this court. I think his third try.
Down.
Clips the tin.
Yeah.
Stand out. 2-1.
There's one thing here, of course, we can't change the tin. That's one thing that should happen as well. Lower tin.
Makes a huge difference. Makes a big difference. I think in the we're getting some intel saying that the next match that will be hosted here will be with a 17-inch tin.
Nice. I'm not sure if it would help Scott, but definitely would help players like Omar.
Absolutely.
And any pro that will be playing it, because that will be something that they're used to.
Much better from Scott, just moving the ball around.
Difficult to get, of course, the ball past Rob, because he's quite a reach. Also.
Stand out. 3-2.
It's much closer this game. 3-2. Second game of the last match of the evening.
I couldn't see it.
Questionable.
Yeah, I can't see that side wall. Smart, he pulled up his leg.
Beauty.
Oh, that's a shame.
4-2.
It's a great pickup by Downer. Also good to see that there are quite a lot of people here. First match, of course, last week was packed.
Indeed.
But I've been to a couple of Eredivisie matches in the Netherlands the past couple of years. And quite some audience here. I like it.
I think also the venue lends itself for it to host a decent amount of people. I think some of the other clubs tend to be smaller in
yeah, that's correct.
in size, right? And so what are the stronger teams this year, you think? Ooh.
Stand out.
For the Eredivisie.
Oh, it's always the teams that were there, of course, last year as well. It's Victoria. It's
that's Rotterdam.
Kulisse. Yeah, it's Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And Kulisse is now in Borneo. It used to be in Nijverdal, I think. That Kulisse, of course, is also a strong team. And near squash, you have to be a good contender if you got Paul Cole.
Absolutely.
Especially if Paul is.
That's a let.
Yes, let.
I think that's the right call. He was not ready to play that shot, but he would have gotten that shot without the interference.
And smartly looking for the interference a little bit as well.
Nice counter.
What I actually find interesting, but I've never thought about that, but for instance, Eindhoven is quite a big squash. Ooh, there's the gallery play again.
Didn't work this time.
No. Is that Squash Eindhoven only has a women's team, doesn't have a men's team.
Interesting.
Yeah,
is that
quite a big? Of course, you got Milou there, but you got Dylan Bennett there as well. I would have expected them to have both men's and women's team.
Did they have a men's team last year?
No, actually they didn't. And that's I never thought about it until recently. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
And out 6-4.
Because now we've got a women's team here as well. They're gonna play next week, I think. Away game. This is a kind of turns and twists that I would like Scott to see Rob make.
Yeah, and I see, for example, most of the time when Rob is attacking, Scott's response is to the back. Right, so he's not really making him guess or push forward. So Rob is quite comfortable just waiting for his response to the back of the court, and then he will push him back. So I would like to see a little more of the counter drops from Scott when he's taken to the front, getting quick to that ball.
8-4.
Yeah, and he's running away with it right now. Scott's getting a little bit desperate with his shots. That's a
there
great.
it is. He gets punished for a loose cross court. That's a stroke.
I think so as well. If he wants to go for a cross-court volley, Nick, that ball would have landed in a place where he didn't want it.
Oh, no. Excuse me.
Rob forcing the error. I think not many of those this game.
And bringing Scott back into contention. 6-9 down. If he lifts, he should lift a little bit higher. Because this is every time Rob can smash it.
Indeed.
Can volley it.
Yeah, and he's got a good smash.
Yeah. Nice. That's the way to end the rally.
Beauty. Nice finish from Mr. G.
I guess he thought there was a pot of gold down there. That's a good bet. I didn't see that.
Ask anyone. It wasn't. Everyone shot.
Fair play from Rob Downer.
Thank you.
Accepting to play a lead ball on that decision.
That's very fair. Especially at 9-7.
Wonder if that would have been the same case at 9-0 on the 5th. That to me is a lead ball.
For me as well.
Slope to Apeldoorn.
He did everything to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And he cleared
And there
quite
was
a bit.
time. Yeah.
Ball was pretty high.
His first game ball, the second game, and
that's a shame.
clips it in.
That's a shame.
Apeldoorn.
Fought hard
Two games
to come
to
back,
love.
and then with a easy stroke and a little mistake, unforced error.
Yeah, Rob seems in control, I have to say. Though Scott's trying to play different different parts of the court. I don't think he's found the hole yet for Rob.
Rob's got, he's too much in control. He's playing his game. He likes it, what's going on right there, right now.
You have both Rich and Omar giving coaching advice to Scott.
It almost feels like we're in Egypt. Whereas this, I remember back in the day, like 4 years ago, when they really could still actually they can coach again.
Yeah, that's
correct. You had like 5 people talking up to one player. Like, how does that even work?
Mom, dad, and extended family. Yeah.
And 2 coaches.
Yeah. I think
animated as well.
Yeah. For the longest time, the Egyptian players, or when I was growing up, they would always travel with their family, and I think you saw that the last batch of PSA players where that happened was the Shourbagis. I think whenever they went to the World Championships or major tournaments, they had their parents. Mostly their mom with them. Yep. I always found that very interesting.
I've met a lot of moms from the players over the time.
Exactly.
Right now, though, that's something that changed in the past years. For instance, for Gohar, I always saw her mom. Met her, lovely. And recently, I saw her dad. I haven't seen her mom anymore at the matches. Because her mom is also like, it's too much pressure.
Yeah. Changing the bandana to a more colorful one for Downer.
Must say it doesn't match the shirt, but okay.
Apeldoorn leads 2 games to love. Love all.
Let's see if Scott will change anything. Listen to Omar.
Whoa.
He's left. Love all. Now, 1 more.
Yeah, there we needed the 72-inch tin. It almost looks like Mr. Downer's a little bit more busy on court now.
Thank you. 2-11.
He wants to get it over with, by the looks of it.
He does look like he's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
For his.
Maybe it's the new bandana.
There it is. Scott making the court a little bit bigger for Rob.
Great hands.
Forcing the error on that cross court. Giving a 3-love lead. Very nice.
And again.
That's good work. That's it.
Yeah, those long legs do work for him.
That's a really good rally for Scott. Except that cross court. But he did move him around to basically all 4 corners of the court.
And that back wall boast was landing perfectly for Downer and the side ball. So Scott couldn't do a lot with it.
Indeed.
He should have done a Miguel and just volley it from the back wall, from the front wall.
I think you didn't see that one before Miguel that often, huh?
No.
Nice
I
reception.
remember I was there when he was playing at some. He was playing Gaultier at the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah.
In 2015, I think. That's when Gaultier didn't know what happened. Didn't expect that to happen. No one did actually.
Yeah, it's one of those things. A new shot for the repertoire. Yeah.
5-1.
So Downer jumps up on the score pretty quickly on this one. 5-1 up.
Yeah, he needs to catch his plane or something.
Oh, unlucky.
6-1.
This will be.
Or was it a good width?
Also.
Do you? Oh, that's an answer. That was aimed for.
Oh,
yes.
and he's got an answer for that too. Yeah, I think this will be very good material for Scott to review down the line if he wants to. Yeah,
that was a good lift.
Review his game. I think this will be really good for him, because I think that was one of the things we did a lot at Trinity, which was the video analysis.
8-2.
Helps quite a bit.
With coach.
Yeah, or among each other, among our teammates.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Again, forcing the error.
9-2.
Yeah, he's definitely running away with it, unfortunately. Would have loved to see a little bit more.
Oh.
Enjoy the gallery play. Good lift.
Hand out. 3-9.
That's a good win.
There it is again.
5-9.
That's a shot that you now see a lot on the tour as well.
That low cross-court flick.
Oh, actually, cutting the ball.
Hand out.
So
10-5. Match ball.
There it is.
There you go. That's a nice finish. Great finish.
Match to Apeldoorn. 3 games
Apeldoorn
11-7,
wins
11-7,
the day,
11-5.
the night, 2-1. So
that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Unfortunately, not a win for Frans Otten. Good matches though, close games. Unfortunately, not for Scott.
Okay,
yeah, they're good to watch. Yeah,
first of all,
we're good to watch.
Good. Yep.
Very
fantastic
entertaining.
squash that was. Congratulations
Thank you very
to
much.
Scott and Robert Downer.
See you next time.
Have a good night.
You too.
Ciao, ciao.
So Scott, it's a tough gig out there today, but I think you performed well, held your own. What were some of the things that posed the threat to you today, and why did you find it difficult?
I just think if I dropped anything, like even just 5%, I just got like eaten alive. Because Rob just kept it so solid, especially after like long rallies. I thought I was making him work, but he like didn't seem like phasing too much. So congrats for the course points and everything. But yeah, it was really fun playing with everyone. Thanks to the ref, did a great job, and I'm sure the commentators did well as well. I'm sure I'll watch it back, and Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Richard.
I thought Scott was about to steal my show then for a minute, Jesus. But I mean, Scott, you've been training. Working out. Mike's also going off, so that also doesn't help me. But I think the important thing is, you know, that you continue pushing on with your performances and how you're playing. It's obviously a big challenge playing against professional players that are playing day in, day out. So credit to you, and congratulations to Scott Gilliander, please, guys. Apologies that we have some technicalities. I think the mic might come on again now, but hopefully I'm loud enough back there. Wait 1 second. Wait, the suspense is killing you, Andre. I got the solution. You got a battery there? Are you already? Oh, we're back in line. And it's gone again. Always something to go on. Okay, there we go. Techie always has it covered. Round of applause for Sander, please. So Rob, second time here in a couple of months, eh? How was that game for you? How did you find it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to play that well tonight, to be completely honest. Second time playing Scott. I knew even the first time he was good, tricky player, likes to go for his shots, quick on his feet. And with that kind of player, I know that I've got to be restricted, and I did that again well today. I came here, I was tired the whole day. I just had a tournament and a lot of travelling to get back from the tournament in France and to get here. And to be honest, something I changed this week, where I played better than last time in these kind of situations, was I just accepted how I felt. I know I didn't feel great during the day, and it actually made me settle. So I relaxed my mind, my body. And then I just sort of made me think very tactically about how I wanted to play, rather than that fighting of, oh, I must feel good, I want to feel good on court, and not. So there was less friction today, so I felt, you know, I got quite relaxed in there, and then I actually found myself with more energy to do more with the ball, put more volleys on. So that was a nice surprise with just a change of this today. So I'm really happy, and this court's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a constant challenge going on tour, coming to leagues, flying backwards and forwards, so I can appreciate the struggles that it is. What's the main way you find to reset between these events and then coming to play leagues like this?
I think it's just you've got to ground yourself, you've got to bring yourself back to ground. I mean, whether you had a good tournament or a bad tournament, whether you've got an easy travel or a horrendous one, you just got to relax and do something that's just going to keep you grounded, that when you step on court, with whatever physical shape you're in, that you're mentally calm, even if your body's taking on the stress of sitting on a train, or you know, if you've had to process a tough defeat, or you know, you're elevated from a good win, all of it's got to come back down before you step on for the next game. And the travelling can help that if you do it right, or it can hinder it. You can be there staring out the window on the train going, I can't believe I lost to that guy. So it can go either way.
Well, I mean, you certainly did well today. Your retrieval was fantastic, and you got a win for your team. So congratulations to Rob Downer, please, guys. And a big round of applause for both of these two for finishing off what is a fantastic night. So round of applause to you guys. Well done. So that draws the close to the evening, so I just want to say a couple of thank yous. First of all to Apeldoorn, to Steve and Rutger for coming and giving us a fantastic spectacle. Thank you very much. We look forward to coming to your place. Thank you to Ellen, a wonderful referee. Thank you for supporting us this evening. The stream team up at the top there, who's looking like one at the moment, Silas, so thank you, mate. And then just want to say a big thank you to the sponsors that make this possible. As you know, this is the second evening that we've had so far this season. So there's many people that put in good contributions to make this happen. Rapunj being one of the main sponsors of the centre for a long time. Frank Strata, Sjoerd Veenstra, thank you very much Sjoerd, who sat in the crowd. Carl from Brinde Biltong, Peter and Chanel Rasmus from the Squash Network. Let's make sure I don't forget Dunlop, Shabazz Rasool, also of S-Cars Supercars. But all these people deserve a real big round of applause, even if here or not. So big round of applause to them, please. A couple of thank yous to the staff. So Christina, my photographer, thank you very much. Always hiding away at the back, so thank you, Christina. And then to the Frans Otten Stadion team and the bar and the centre and the family of the Koopmans for making this possible. So big round of applause for them, please. Thank you, guys. And last but not least, all of you lovely people sat in the crowd, thank you for supporting the team. And I hope you'll come back next time. We have the next home match for the men is on the 2nd of November. We have some big guns coming in, so it's between Marwan El Shabagi or Yusuf Solomon playing at number 1 for us, so that's a very exciting matchup. Then the women's home tie is on the 23rd of November, so we have a little pause on our home matches, but I hope you all can come and support the team. But have a good night and safe journey home. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
So we're signing off for the live broadcast here at the Frans Otten Stadion. Thanks again from here, from the stream team, for all the sponsors. Frans Otten, Dunlop, SR Supercars, Rich King Coasting, Stream Team, the Squash Network, Biltong, and Dunlop. Hope I didn't forget anyone. Thanks to the crowd and everyone watching online. And again, I'll switch to the main court, main camera, because there is the QR code, and we can use every help we can to support our Eredivisie team. We're signing off now for the broadcast, and we will see you in the next home match, which will be 23rd of... I'll come back to that later on the next broadcast. Sorry, but see you next time.